Today, we're gonna review the Himiway Rhino. It's a brand new dual battery fat tire e-bike, and I came down here to the Himiway dealership in San Diego, California to give it a test ride. So before we get on this thing, let's do a quick little walk around and take a look at what it's made of. So it has a built-in battery up here on the top. Turn this key to pop it out, and it looks like it's a 48 volt 15 amp hour battery. Snap it back in place just like that. We also have the battery down here on the bottom. Pop it out and it's the exact same 48 volt 15 amp hour battery. Snap that back in place, lock it up. And of course the rain's gonna start right as I get here. But I've gotta say that the color on this Rhino is beautiful. So the bike does have two independent charging ports, one for each battery. One of the first things I noticed about this bike when I first saw it was the tires. These are 4-inch wide fat tires with a far different tread pattern than we're used to seeing. These are 4.5-inch wide tires. These are not 4-inch wide tires, so they are actually just a half-inch wider. This looks like a much more street-friendly kind of tread pattern. And these tires are branded Himiway by Kenda. So this is a 750 watt rear hub motor. This one appears to be branded DAAO. On the rear, we have Shimano gears and a Shimano Altus derailleur. And there are 9 gears on that shifter, controlled by a Shimano Altus gear shifter. You get the gear shifters underneath, which is my preference. And this one comes with round rubber grips, thumb throttle on the left. Simple controls here, plus and minus for your pedal assist system, on and off switch, and an M button, bell, and Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. Great feeling levers, a very familiar wide saddle, Tektro calipers with 180 millimeter slotted rotors, which are Tektro branded rotors. You also get a Tektro caliper on the rear and a 180 millimeter rotor on the rear. While we're down here, the motor does say it's rated for 750 watts, 48 volt, and the Rhino is a hardtail, meaning it has front suspension on the fork. Looks to be pretty big travel. I actually don't know what the travel is. I'll drop that in the description box. It's got a preload on the left, as well as a compression adjustment on the right. We've got a couple mounting points up here on the front. Of course, the same two on the other side. And a pretty big, familiar looking headlight. Hold that plus button down for about 3 seconds and it'll turn on the headlight. And on the rear, there's not a light, but there is a reflector. And I don't know what the weight of this bike is, but I'm sure it's pretty heavy with that big battery up here on top and down here, which should give you some excellent range, packing 48 volt times 30 amp hours of total battery power in these two batteries. Hey Siri, what's 48 times 30? 1,440 watt hours of energy. So of course the range you're gonna get out of that massive amount of watt hours is really gonna heavily depend on how you're riding it, but all I can say for sure is it will be significant. Unfortunately, the one day that I might actually need fenders, there are not fenders on this bike out of the box. Actually, I can't say that for sure because this bike was built here right in the Himiway store. Maybe it does come with fenders, I don't know. It definitely has a mounting point to put a fender on the rear as well as on the front. Watch out, don't disturb the little bee. And also there's a couple eyelets back here for a rear rack or something. Which, speaking of rear rack, that would be a perfect thing to add to this bike considering the massive amount of range that you'll be able to get, the massive amount of energy in those batteries. As for the price on the Himiway Rhino, I actually do not know. The owner of the store, Tim, could not tell me either. He doesn't know, but I will put the link to this bike down in the description box below this video so you can see the price and any sort of discount code I can offer you if you want to grab one. And of course, if you did want to grab one, it would help support my channel at no additional cost to you, and I would greatly appreciate your support. So all that being said, let's check out the display. To power it on, you simply press and hold the power button there, and it powers right up. It says Himiway on the display. Very crisp looking, nice display. No color or anything, but it is a very nice looking display. Let's tap that power button a couple times, see what kind of options come up. Nada. Let's tap the M button a couple times. So we get average speed, max speed, minutes probably. Total distance, we're in kilometers. Unfortunately, we don't have the manual. I couldn't figure out how to switch it to miles per hour. We're gonna be operating kilometers per hour. And I just saw that headlight turn on by itself. So this bike does have automatic headlights. Cool. So yeah, you can fake making it go dark by covering the screen and then the light turns off. Take your hand off, it sees the light turns off. You could probably turn that auto headlight on and off in the settings somehow. Pedal assist modes are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And real quick, while we're up here by the display, I want to point out this does have a power meter. You'll be able to see how much power is being pulled from the battery and put to the motor. It's just indicated based on this bar meter down here on the bottom. Also, I apologize, the GoPro did not do a good job capturing the visibility of this screen in this review, but rest assured this screen is bright and visible in person. Also, there's no flickering. The flickering you see on screen is just due to the GoPro and the refresh rate. And I did say it's not a color display. However, if you look closely, you can see the eye in Himiway actually has a red dot. So this display is capable of displaying color. So unfortunately, we will not go through my normal test procedure doing a hill test and range test and all that, but we will get on this bike and take it out for its paces, and I'll feel it out and tell you what I think of it. We'll do an acceleration test and all that. Looks like the battery is pretty much fully charged. I don't know if it's 100% topped off, but it says it's full, 5 bars here. First thing, getting on this bike, this front fork, I can tell definitely feels a little bit more high quality than the typical fork and suspension I feel on these budget-friendly e-bikes. So on 0, does the throttle work? Does not. Bump it on to 1 and we are taking off. So shows you a little output here, kind of indicating what the power of the motor is giving you. I don't see it showing the wattage output. So on pedal assist 1, using throttle only, it's nice and gentle. Very approachable e-bike, especially on pedal assist 1 right now. Man, the one day I wish we had fenders. These tires, they feel a little bit different than the normal tires. Oh wow, so once you start getting moving, even on pedal assist 1, it just basically takes it easy off the line, but it doesn't like cap you out or anything at top speed. So like it's easy on the throttle, pedal assist 1. And then once you start getting moving, you can see it gives you like more and more power and brings us up to 25 kilometers per hour. That's not miles per hour. Turning this front wheel, I can feel a little bit of extra weight for sure. Having that big 15 amp hour, 48 volt battery up here, it's like an extra 10 pounds of weight up here. That's gonna definitely translate into some extra big range on this bike for sure, at the expense of adding a little bit more weight to the bike. I mean, that's just a trade-off you get. You want big range, big battery, get a little bit extra weight. So we'll try out the pedal assist modes here in just a moment, but let's go ahead and bump this thing onto pedal assist 2, see if it gives us a little bit stronger power. Pedal assist 3 doesn't appear to be affecting how much launch it's giving me off the start. So let's just do pedal assist 5 from a stop. And it's still gentle on the throttle, which is nice, makes for a safe ride. It's not gonna be like jerking you around and dangerous. So throttle appears to be offering the same acceleration rate at pedal assist 1 or pedal assist 5. And I'd have to say that this battery is not 100% fully charged, because I just saw that battery dip down to 4 out of 5 bars under acceleration. Yeah, you can see it dip down. So if it was fully charged, it wouldn't be voltage sagging at all, but you know, it's pretty full. Before we get out on the road and stuff, let's try out the pedal assist. So let's see, let's just go pedal assist 1, start pedaling. Cadence sensor kicks right in. I believe it's a cadence sensor. I was told it was a cadence sensor. Let's try out some of the gears. I am on the lowest gear. So this bike has 9 gears. That's definitely more than usual. Usually we see either 7 or 8 gears. So we'll have to see how the ratios are. This definitely seems like a great hill climbing gear for sure. Let's just go ahead straight away, bump it onto 4. Pedal assist 1. And we can get up to a healthy cruising pace here of 20 kilometers per hour. Go ahead and bump this thing onto pedal assist 2. Gives us a little bit more boost. We're gonna have to get out of this parking lot. This is just wonderful, riding in the rain, man. It's just been like non-stop raining in California. I'm gonna bump this thing onto pedal assist 3. Get over here to the sidewalk. Tim told me, the owner of the Himiway dealership, to turn right here. If you're in the San Diego area, you can see these bikes in person at his shop. So pedal assist 3 here, it eases on the power again. So this is like a nice, gentle power application. It'll definitely keep you safe and not jerk you around too much. So let's just see what pedal assist 3 will take us up to. We got to get up to all the way to top gear of 9. We're going 32, 34 kilometers per hour, 35 kilometers per hour. And it's a nice feeling ride. This bike is definitely very nice. It feels very planted for sure. And that front suspension is genuinely nice feeling. Problem is, I'm not familiar with these streets at all. Let's just go ahead and turn it back around and bump it onto pedal assist 4. See what pedal assist 4 will bring us up to. Still giving me full power, it looks like. Speed bumps, I popped off the seat a little bit there. 45, about 45. All right, we gotta use these brakes a bit. Brakes are definitely very confidence inspiring. This is a good brake setup for a bike that weighs this much. 180 millimeter Tector disc brakes. Pedal assist 5. All right, now it's giving me the juice. And battery is surely not 100% charged because it's showing 3 out of 5 under hard acceleration. Not noticing a huge difference between pedal assist 4 and pedal assist 5. It's topping me out at about 45 kilometers per hour. So on flat ground, we'll do a 0 top speed test and see what it'll do under throttle only. I weigh 200 pounds and full throttle, ready to go. It eases on the power, which is nice for, you know, not jerking you around. 10 kilometers an hour, 20, 30, 35, 40, 44, 45, and right around 46. Oh yeah, brakes are nice, brakes are nice. Check it out, there's a little hill, let's try it. If I had to guess, I'd say this hill grade is about 10%. We're gonna start from a stop, throttle only, ready to go. So let's see what kind of torque this bike has. So it eases on the power and is bringing us up this hill. I'd estimate, you know, 10% grade, accelerating, still gaining speed, applying full power. Seems like a pretty decently strong hill climber. I don't know what controller is on this bike and how it's regulating how much power it's spitting out. To describe it, I'd say it feels gentle and safe and not jarring. It's not like, it doesn't give you like a ton of power all at once. So makes for a smooth acceleration. Go ahead and do this same hill using pedal assist. Put it down to like pedal assist, let's say 3. So gears work as nicely as I would expect for a Shimano Altus shifter. Shimano shifters are always good. So I mean, this is a breeze, you know, I'm just using the motor. You can see the power output there. It's giving me plenty of power to climb that hill. Let's check and see how accurate the speedometer is out of the box. I wonder if I could switch this over to kilometers per hour. Oh yeah, there we go. Units. So the GPS in my right hand will lag just a little bit. But cruising at like a consistent pace, yeah, they're both showing the same. So I'd say the speedometer is accurate. Let's try out the thumb throttle now on different pedal assist modes. So on 1, so it doesn't really appear to be too much of a different power output, whether you're on pedal assist 5 or 1. So you get full access to all the power, regardless of what pedal assist you're on with the thumb throttle here. So we'll do a little brake test here. I can't squeeze the brakes super hard because I don't want to slide out, but about 28 kilometers per hour. And I can tell you, these brakes, they're great. One more little brake test here. Bring it up to about 30 kilometers per hour. Oh great, there's a car coming. 30, 30, 30. Yep, great brakes. So real quick, let's take a look at the minimum and maximum height of seat. Comes quite a bit down, puts it down below the handlebars quite a bit, as we can see there. Raise it on up to max. At the very maximum height, it puts it pretty much level with the handlebars, just slightly below the handlebars. I'm 6'5". I'm gonna try this bike out on the very maximum saddle height, see what kind of leg extension I get. I'm inseam 34, and This feels about the proper leg extension for me at 6'5". When the seat is all the way up on the maximum height, definitely gets you in a riding position. Up on the handlebars, you get your weight kind of up on your arms a little bit, so it's nice having that suspension there to cushion bumps, and then you can also put in some work of your own. So I'd say this is kind of like a mountain bikey kind of feel bike. I want to try the suspension out a little bit. I just switched it all the way to the softest setting, all the way to the left. See how this feels. This suspension is genuinely like one of the nicer feeling bouncy suspensions I've tried for sure. Let's cover this curb a little bit here. Yeah, just that feels nice. I don't know what the PSI are in these tires. Let me crank it up. So there's like a lot of turns on this thing. I'd say I rotated that thing about 3 times. Oh wow, and that's like locked out now. So you get quite a lot of range in how much suspension play there is. Lower back down all the way. Oh yeah, that makes it way soft. And then about halfway up, and you can tell a difference for sure. So like the tunability, the adjustability on the suspension is for sure one of the better ones I've tried on a budget bike. But I don't know what the price of this is, so I can't really say budget bike anymore at this point. The steering and handling, I will say, you can tell like it's a heavier bike, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the tires on this bike or if it's simply just because of the massive battery that's up here on the top. So I mean, this bike has a massive amount of batteries, which, as I mentioned, gives you a massive amount of range. But all around here, you know, all around here though, you're getting a little bit more weight than your typical bike with the big weight up here. And then I don't know what's going on in this fork, but it's probably a little heavier than your standard fork, because I mean, it feels nicer and beefier. And then also these tires, I don't know like the weight on them. They might be a little heavier. I don't know the weight. They seem a little meatier and more for like street riding. They might be a little more like puncture resistant and have beefier, meatier properties to them that increase the weight. But riding on these tires, they definitely feel nice. Like this is like really what you want for the street. You don't really want knobby tires for the street, I wouldn't say. And most of these fat tire bikes, it's probably where they spend most of their time, honestly, is street riding. Speaking of street riding, let's see about maybe going through, is this landscaping or is this just like, can I ride through that? We should do it. All right, dudes, I just can't help my curiosity, but see if we could make it up this hill. It's probably gonna be darn near impossible with that curb there and having to go over it at like a slower speed. Let's just try it out. Yeah, not quite. Ugh. That was fun trying though, at least. All right, so final thoughts on the Himiway Rhino. Obviously, the biggest feature on this bike is the dual 15 amp hour 48 volt batteries that are gonna give you massive range compared to most e-bikes. 30 amp hours is a massive amount of range. Obviously, it's gonna largely depend on how you ride the bike, what kind of range you're gonna get, but I'd say in unison with these massive batteries and the way that the throttle pedal assist sensor eases on that power, it's really gonna help you maximize and get the most range out of this bike. The fork on this bike seems nice. Love the suspension. It's got big, powerful hydraulic disc brakes from Tektro all around. And this color, I really like the color. Maybe two of the downsides of this bike is with those big batteries, this thing does have some weight to it. You check the link below this video to see what the official weight is. I don't have a scale on me here. Obviously, that's just what you get, more weight. When you want more range, bigger batteries, more weight. So if you don't want a lot of range and you want a light bike, this isn't gonna be the one you're looking for. Another thing I'd like to see on this bike would be potentially, you know, an integrated rear tail light. And on a day like today, fenders would have been nice. I don't know if that's offered on this bike or not. And if you do want to buy a Himiway Rhino, you can click on the link below this video in the description box. Any sort of discount I can offer you will be down there. And if you did buy through that link, it would help support my e-bike reviews. However, if this is not the bike for you, you can watch this video here next. If you're in the San Diego area and you want to check out a Himiway bike, you can check out Tim's store here in San Diego. Thanks for watching, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, drop a comment, and I'll catch you next time.